Hi everybody, I'm back. You couldn't get rid of me. I'm here to create some more art videos for you. I'm an art teacher and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put what I do in the classroom into videos for you at home to help you to learn how to get more creative in your classroom or at home or wherever you might be around the world. Now, I have just had a baby, so I will actually introduce you to her a little later in the video. But firstly, we're going to be setting up to create a contour drawing. Now, a contour drawing is actually much harder than it looks, but it's super fun. It's inspired by the great Pablo Picasso. He used to create art using one line only, and that's what we're going to have a go at doing today. Just make sure while you're here to like, subscribe and comment, because I'll be making some awesome art videos for you in the future. Also, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, I have some accounts, and that's where you can share what you've been doing at home with me, and I might even reshare it too. So come along, let's get set up and we'll have a go at creating something awesome like this.
I drew a face only using one line.
Was it tricky?
Yes.
For this fun drawing task today, all you need is some paper and some drawing materials. I have a mixed assortment here, and you can use whatever you have at home or in the classroom. Another thing you might need is something that you're going to draw. For example, you might choose to use something from outside. You might choose to get a mirror so you could draw your own face. You might choose to draw a pet or something else in front of you. Whatever it is, have it in front of you so that you can look at its details and have a go at drawing it while it's in front of you, rather than from memory. So gather your materials and we're going to have a go at this fun and crazy drawing task. Today's task is called a contour drawing. Can you say contour, Sadie?
Contour.
A contour drawing means using lines in interesting ways, looking at details of the things that you're drawing, and we want them to connect together so that our pen, our texture, or whatever we're drawing with never leaves the page. When I'm drawing, I'm not allowed to pick it up and then put it back down again. I need to keep my pen on the paper the entire time. Now, this is actually a lot harder than it sounds. When we're drawing, for example, if I'm going to draw a simple leaf, I have to consider drawing the shape and all of its details and being very, very clever to creatively move my pen around the paper to get all the details without lifting it off until I'm done. So I'm going to teach you how to do that today. Another thing you might choose to do is called a blind contour drawing. That adds an extra element to it, and it actually means that you don't ever look down at your paper. You only look at the object you're trying to draw. Now, it sounds funny, it sounds a little bit weird, but it's actually a fantastic exercise for drawing, and you might be surprised by how effective the result is. So, we're just going to do a contour drawing today, but if you want to add the blind element in, you can do that as well. So today, Sadie and I, we're going to work on this beautiful brown craft card. We're going to have one piece of paper each. There you go, sweetie. And when we're drawing, we are not going to use a grey lead pencil. The temptation with using a grey lead is that you might go back later and rub out the bits that don't work. In this task, we want the bits that don't work. So we're going to work with something permanent from the start. So a dark coloured texture, a permanent marker, something that will draw really nicely and easily. You can use whatever colour you like. What colour are you going to choose, Sades?
This colour.
Okie dokie. Now, the master of contour drawing was a man named Pablo Picasso.
Pablo Picasso.
Pablo Picasso.
Pablo
Pablo
Picasso.
Picasso. Now, Pablo Picasso was a very famous Spanish artist, and he's mostly known for his abstract portraits and his use of shapes. However, he also used lines, very simple lines, one line actually to create all of these different artworks you can see here. So it's a different type of art he used to create, but it was also equally as famous. He would creatively use lines to look at the shape of different objects, mostly animals, and have a go at drawing them with one line only. And that's what we're going to do today. Now, to start off simple, Sadie and I are going to have a go at drawing these leaves here. But next, we're going to make it a little bit more complicated and we're going to have a go at drawing a detailed face. So Sadie, let's have a go at drawing these leaves. But the idea is to not lift your pen off the paper. And we also don't want to go back over the line we've drawn. I'll show you what I mean. If I draw a line like this, right? Yeah. And I go up, I'm not allowed to draw over that line again. That's cheating. All right, no cheating. What we have to do, if I was to do that, I'm not allowed to go back over it. I can go next to it like that, but I can't go over it again. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, so let's try to not go over each line, okay? The idea is to creatively move around the paper. All right, let's get started. Yours might look a little bit different to mine, but we're essentially looking at this. Do it nice and big on your page, so you have lots of room. If you do it really, really tiny, you won't have room to get all the details. So I'm going to start here at the edge of the branch. What I'm doing with my zigzag lines here is suggesting the veins or the inside of my leaf. You can see I'm not trying to go over what I've done. And we're not rubbing it out, we're trying to work with it. Work with our mistakes. It's just a practice. Start with something easy in front of you.
Then what are we going to do to make it harder?
To make it harder, we're going to do a face.
Oh.
A face is hard because it's got so many details.
I only got 4.
There we go, that's mine. Now remember, we don't want to go over the lines we've already done. You're doing really well, sweetie, but try not to go over the lines you've done.
Right.
Good, beautiful leaf. All right, let's turn our page over. So now what we're going to do is have a go at drawing a face. Now, a face is a really good contour subject because it has so many details. So it teaches us to be really creative with our lines. So have a mirror in front of you. Now, remember all the details inside our face. If you think of a face, right? Okay, faces have eyes. Look at how many times I'm lifting my pen off my page to draw all the details on a face. I've lifted it up many, many, many times. So what we have to try to do, thank you. What we have to try to do is actually move our pen around the paper without lifting it. So we have to go, imagine we have to go from the eye to the other eye, down to the nose, down to the mouth, creatively. So there's an element of being abstract in this task. It is a realistic kind of picture, but the way we're creating it is a little bit abstract. And it's because we need to use lines in a strange way to move around the paper. All right, let's see how we go. It is a difficult concept. I normally do this task with at least grade 3 students because of the difficulty. I'm going to start with one of my eyes. So I'm actually going to start in the middle of my page because I'm going to start with the shape of my eye. The shape of my eye is sort of like a football shape. All right, but now I need to do the pupil. So I'm going to come back around. You can see like that. And I need to get up again. I might make some eyelashes like this. Okay, now from here, it's going to be hard for me to get over to the other side to do the other eye. I'm going to go from here and actually draw the outside of my head. Here we go, this is my forehead. And that gets me to the other side of the page here. Can you see that? I've lifted up my pen just to demonstrate, but I'm going to continue from here. Now remember, you can't lift your pen up, so try to move your pen around without lifting it, okay, Sades?
Sure.
So start from where you left, or start from where you were last time. Good girl. And what are you going to do next? Doesn't have to be completely realistic. Where are you going to go next? No, you can't go back over the line you've already done, remember? Yeah. So you have to be a bit clever about it. What could you do?
I don't know.
Well, you don't see what I did. I actually did a swirl for my eye. It doesn't have to be really realistic, remember? We need to just get to where we need to go as creatively as possible. And sometimes doing kind of crazy lines makes it look interesting. All right, so what are you going to do? That's it. All right. I'm going to do my other eye now that I'm on this side of my page. And I'm going to do the football shape once again with my little spiral pupils and crazy eyelashes, bringing me back to the outside of my cheek. I need to do my ear while I'm here. I might just choose to do a bit of an inside there. All right, I'm going to pause there and see how Sadie's going. And what do you want to do next?
The other eye.
Okay, how are you going to get here without lifting your pen off the page? What's a clever way you could get to the other side? Good. This task, what you'll find, is harder for some students, particularly ones that are perfectionists, like my girl here. She wants to be able to lift up her pen so she can get to the other side to get her eye as neat as possible, but encouraging them to find a creative way to move around the page is a really important part of this task. So now that I'm here, I'm going to come up, and even though I don't have a line on my chin, I'm going to draw one anyway, and I'm going to make it look a little bit jazzy so that it doesn't look too weird. So there we go. There's my mouth. Can you see how I got from there to there by just drawing a little bit of a weird line? Yeah? Okay, so now I need to get from here up to my nose. So I'm going to draw sort of the outside of my nose, come back around. I'm looking at a mirror because it's helping me with the shapes as well. And so I can come back up to my eye. Now what is really good here is because I haven't actually done my eyebrow yet, so I can come up, give myself a bit of an eyebrow, and I'm going to pause here. So that's where I was. So Sadie, can you see here how you've gone back over the line you've done? That's not what we're trying to do. What I suggest you do to get to this side is do your hair. So do some hair here, and that will get you over to this side to do your other eye. Good, and that's going to get her to the other side where she needs to be, while also drawing a detail that needs to happen. So while Sadie's doing that other eye, I'm going to start here, and I'm going to continue the rest of my head down here. Going to do my ear again, bit of a swirly thing, and I've completed the outside of my face. I'm back down here, so I can do my neck now, and I'm going to now do my hair coming up. Notice I haven't done continuous lines like this for hair. It's just the outside line and sort of the shape that it creates. There we go. It brings me around to the other side. There. Excellent. Well done. You did it. Now, Sadie did have quite a bit of trouble. She is only 6 years old. So the idea of trying to get from one area to the next is probably a bit complex for her age, but she did do well and she was able to finish the task, which is awesome. So you need to sign your name, just like Picasso would. And sign your name so everyone knows who did it. And now what we can do is use all your colouring materials to just accentuate some lines. So I am not going to draw any extra lines on my contour drawing. I'm just going to use some pens I have here, just to make some of the lines that I've drawn stand out. We're going to add a bit of colour. You could also use some 3D elements such as pipe cleaners and stick them along the lines. You might choose to roll up some tissue paper, make it nice and thin, and then accentuate some of the lines by adding tissue paper like this. You can choose to add detail however you want. However, don't cover what you've done. What we're doing now is making the lines that we've drawn stand out by adding colour and detail. We're not colouring in, no. So we're not going to colour in the mouth. I'm just going to use some colours to sort of go over the lines I've already drawn. Can you see that, Sadie?
Yeah.
That means that our contour drawing, it won't take away from our contour drawing. It will actually make the lines we've drawn stand out even further. What I love about using this craft card is if you get some really high quality pastels, see that it's really looks very beautiful because the colors really stand out. Now notice I'm not trying to go over my lines that I've drawn. I want to still see them. I'm just sort of drawing next to them. This silver pen looks really cool. Another thing I suggest, if you're doing this task with students, what I suggest is do it twice. So have a go, get them to draw a contour drawing on one side, then ask them to turn over the paper and try it again. Often the second time is better, but the kids can actually choose which one they prefer, which one they think is more successful and effective to be their good copy. And because it doesn't really take all that long, generally you will have time in an art lesson to have a go at doing this task twice. And any mistakes the students made in the first one, generally they can work out how to fix them in the second one.
That was hard.
Yeah. It is tricky, and admittedly you're probably a little bit young for this task, Sades. It's a bit of an advanced concept, but you've done very well considering. Maybe after doing this task, you might have a little bit more appreciation for Pablo Picasso and how clever he was. Because using one line only to create an image, you might have noticed, is a lot harder than it looks. So it's as simple as that. Did you find it simple or did you find it tricky? You can let me know in the comments below how you went with this task. It is hard to sort of move around the paper and to try to get all the features in, but hopefully with more practice, you'll get more confident. So I hope you've enjoyed the task and have an awesome day from me. Hi everybody. So I'd really love to introduce you to the new addition to our family. Our gorgeous baby girl Harriet was born on the 12th of October and she's now 3 weeks old. Would you like to say hi? Here she is, just hanging out. You say hi. Hey, over here. Hey, there she is. And her sisters are so in love with their gorgeous little sister, aren't you? Can you say hi everybody? Hi YouTube.